great.
I think it was brilliant. Overall, it was amazing.
We moved in, the house was dated. We loved the amount of space that we had, but it was all wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't utilised very well, was
the
it?
layout was just terrible. And from the minute that we'd viewed it, I could see that. But trying to convince Kevin, that wall's down and there's that there and there's this here. It was quite overwhelming. So we wanted a company who could do it all, the whole lot. From taking the walls down to replumbing, rewiring, new walls up, painting, having it finished so we could leave, have all the work done and then come back in.
Moving into a brand new house.
I don't think I realised how few companies do what you do. There's so many companies out there and we must have spoken to 20 and so many of them was like, we'll do this bit and that bit.
But you need to source this bit yourself.
That bit. We don't have an electrician. That's fine, we can do, we can work for your drawings or whatever, but once the building work's done, we don't have a plasterer. I was just like, the two of us work full time. We've got a 2-year-old. We wanted the full thing done and there's few people who do. And when we found some people who did, they didn't get back to us.
I would probably assume inexperienced people come and probably underestimate the job, and it wasn't until we got the job back from them to be like, well, this is missing, that's missing, that's missing.
And we had one company who said, you detail everything you want and I'll give you a price. And I was like, with all due respect, like, I'm not a builder, so I don't know all the intricacies. I just know you've missed a lot because other people had given us quotes and there was loads of stuff in it that other people hadn't or whatever. I
think it's just the professionalism as well. It was just like putting a lot of time, effort and money into you and I'm not really getting anything back. I value my money and I would like to think that someone values my business.
It worried me when someone took no notes. There was one person came and was like, okay, yep, no problem. Not a tape measure.
Yeah. Even some of the suggestions. Arguably, the first part was probably how friendly you were when you came in. You were friendly, you were open and honest, you listened to everything that we had to say. I never got the impression that you were like, not really interested in this job, which really helped.
You got back to us.
You got back to us promptly with things. You said you would get back to us when you got back to us. And overall, I think it was just the communication. You even came back 2 or 3 times to confirm what the plan was, where certain things were going, just a lot of finer details before we actually committed to it.
And you'll remember the first time you came out, like it was a total shock to our system at the cost. And I said that to you, I was like, listen, Jamie, thank you so much, we appreciate your time, but that is just like way above anything that we imagined. And we went to several other places and actually we came back to you.
But actually, Daniel and I had a very frank discussion after you had gone and we had said, like, straight away, like, your attitude and probably just your personality right away, it was like, fits with Daniel and I. You resonate with us. It was our ideas to the architect put our ideas down on paper and you looked at it and just went, yeah, that's achievable.
At no point did you say, can I do that? That's going to be difficult, or nah, we're going to need to move that around. Like, even when you did run into problems, I was very much like, oh my God, there's problems. And you went, it's fine, don't worry about it. Got it under control, fix it. There was something that happened.
It was the bricks. It was literally the first week, we've got an issue with bricks, I'll phone you. I was like, oh my God.
And I was like, you're like, that's fine. We'll work around it. After that steel was fixed. Going back initially, it was just when we had sat down with the initial quote, I would say, and we went through it and we were like, right, we're going to get the kitchen from here so we can take that off. We're going to change what we thought about this so we can take that. And once we just retweaked the numbers, it was bang on.
Yeah, that was where we wanted to be, wasn't it?
It was right within our budget. Without even telling you what our budget was, we were like, right, okay, that works. You had no problem with us having the kitchen from somewhere that you wouldn't normally use, or the bathroom, and it all tied in.
Amazing.
Great.
Just looks amazing. It looks like a brand new house. So many people have actually said that to us, like came in, even the neighbour next door came through. They're like, oh my God, is that a show home in here? It's amazing.
And she didn't want to look from the second the work started until it was finished. She was properly like, wow.
She asked her daughter if she came in like a week later because she wanted to show off to her daughter. Like, not even her house, yeah.
On time, no, but that's okay, because I was shocked when you said the time that it would take. We were like, don't think it's going to be done in that length of time. And we had the benefit of being able to move out and move in with my mum, so it was no problem. It's not as if it put us under any
financial burden or anything.
Yes, and within budget, yeah.
Oh, definitely within budget, yeah. It was a shame though, because you guys were waiting around for so long. Like, there was probably days where you could have come in and done something, but you're waiting on something happening. So that was like wasted days.
Aye.
So it would have never taken 8.5 weeks if the engineer report was right and all that kind of stuff. But it's funny you say about like the 4-week window, because even that first week, the way the house transformed from that to just bare was just unbelievable.
That was day one. One day,
like a couple
the
of
kitchen
days,
was
like,
ripped out, all the floor was up.
Day, so.
Just getting rid of that orange wooden floor and the orange kitchen cupboards and all that.
The yellow walls.
Just looked better instantly.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Spot on.
Yeah, between you, like even just like minor messages on Instagram to the girls in the office on the email thread, everything was on point. You would send an email and get a reply almost instantaneously. Oh, of course.
Because that was one of the big things for us. You look at all those companies, you know, that we contacted. I've got a notebook that I wrote all the people's names of the companies down, their mobile, how I contacted them, because some people didn't have a mobile, it was only Instagram, only Facebook, and I would write down when I messaged them and when I got a reply and if I then got a follow-up, and I would say the majority of them there was nothing.
Or they would make an excuse if
and
it was like 5 days later.
We would much prefer it was just, I'm sorry, we're fully booked. We never had anybody say, sorry, it's too much, we can't do that. We just didn't get replies.
And that was the thing I said to Danielle, was what we wanted done was a lot of work. Therefore, it was a lot of money involved. And it's the same with any big purchase in life, a car, a watch, whatever it is. To me, I want my service to feel valued because I'm spending a lot of money in it. And I want someone else to feel like I appreciate that person coming to me. Like, because that goes a long way. Whereas there was some people that were coming in, like Danielle said, 5 days later weren't getting back to us, and then they were messaging being like, oh sorry, I meant to get back to you. And I'm like, if you can't even send a message within 5 days, what are you going to be like when you're doing a job?
So communication was spot on. I can't believe we put up with that kitchen that we had for 6 months before the work start.
That actually makes the place feel bigger.
Even though we've not changed the space we've got.
Bigger, more homely, and it's just family friendly.
Especially because we've had the good weather there, been able to have the back door open, the wee man in and out all day.
When you look at those, you really see the amount of work that you guys put in. You know, it's funny because to go from no beams on here or up there to, I think it was like a week and a half, all of a sudden, like the house looked like a house again.
It's when the plastering happens, that's when it just changes. You go from floorboards and holes and wires hanging out to everything just being smooth. Don't look anywhere else.
Go for it. Go for it. And if it's not right, or if you feel as if like it's not in the right ballpark or whatever, like,
just say, chat about it. Don't waste 3 months like I did contacting all these other companies that you think might give you a better price or a better service, because they don't get back to you. It's a waste of your time and you can't really top what you've managed to deliver.